Genghis Khan's Mongol warriors were the most formidable fighting force in history and had the largest landlocked empire ever known to mankind. The question I'm asking today is, how exactly did these nomadic steppe warriors build the stamina to ride for days, shoot arrows with pinpoint accuracy, and bring down empires in order to forge their own? This is Warriors Reborn, where I break down the training, nutrition, and mindset of warrior creeds throughout history so that we can see how we can apply their philosophies to our own training regimens. The Mongols before Genghis Khan, let's be honest, weren't exactly a fighting force to be reckoned with. I mean, they were scary, but they weren't what they were under his leadership. Put simply, the Mongol warriors were absolute animals. Hailing from the steppes of Central Asia, the Mongols were a nomadic race. A nomadic race of warriors that had to survive in harsh conditions where land was primarily infertile and cities, villages and towns were basically unheard of. Mongols could literally set up camps absolutely anywhere they went, and because of that, the city travelled with them. And considering their culture revolved around survival, loyalty and military precision, they created some of the greatest warriors known to mankind. Now, much like Vikings, Mongols actually incorporated women into their fighting. From a young age, Mongol children would learn how to ride, shoot and wrestle, how to thrive in surviving, how to hunt and how to track. Mongols lived on the horse. They were born on it, and because of this had an extreme level of strength and stamina that allowed them to maneuver easily and with stability during combat. An interesting fact is that Mongols could ride for 12 to 15 hours a day. So you might think to yourself, oh, but they're only riding, but actually staying on the horse takes a lot more endurance and stamina than you might be aware of. Long distance cycling and weighted lunges are perfect simulations for this stuff. And being masters of both the bow and horseback meant that they could shoot while riding. Horseback archery was a speciality of theirs. Learning both skills individually and then putting together is quite literally what made them one of the most formidable armies in history. Their secret move, the Parthian shot, looking behind you while riding away and shooting at the enemy. So if you really think about it, they'd have to ride at super high speeds while maintaining balance and control and precise shooting. This level of agility and control needs to be honed throughout time. And though they had a large quantity of horses to ride, not all Mongols would get to. Certainly not at all times, which meant that as a nomadic culture, they'd need to have the stamina and strength to walk for days on end. Countless grueling, stressful hours of walking with heavy rucksacks and equipment, which you can simulate by doing 100-mile hikes. Yes, it'll take you days and you need camp supplies and you need to plan. But ultimately, building this level of resilience in your own body and in your mind is what will set you apart from everybody else. All the while incorporating bodyweight squats, push-ups, pull-ups, anything you can find can really build the strength and endurance needed in order to last these long days while carrying this heavy equipment. But I think the most interesting facts come from the nutrition of the warriors themselves. Due to being a nomadic culture, Mongol warriors would carry dried food with them, high in protein and easy to consume at any given moment. This included something called borts, dried meat that could literally be rehydrated using water, providing a compact, nutrient-dense source of energy. They also consumed dairy from their animals, like fermented mare's milk called arag, which in turn provided essential fats, protein and hydration. In a more modern context, thinking of dried foods like jerky, nuts and dried fruit that are easy to carry and high in nutrients are perfect for a nomadic lifestyle. More than that, high in fat products like dairy, such as yogurt and kefir, provides long-lasting energy, nutrients and essential fats for endurance. The fermented mare's milk was basically a secret trick of theirs. Constantly having this key source of hydration, protein and nutrients meant that they were ready and fueled at any given moment. To break down their diet even further, they basically ate meat and dairy. That's it. One of the cool accounts of the differences of their ages was the differences between the Chinese soldiers that primarily ate gruel made from grains and vegetables and such, and the Mongol warriors that ate meat and dairy. The Chinese were baffled to see these absolute beasts, these animals, these cretins on the battlefield, because they were bigger, stronger, healthier, and far less prone to disease than any of the other people during that time around the world were. Not only that, their high protein diet meant that they were literally more adaptable than everybody else because they could go on for more days without consuming food. The highly ketogenic diet meant that their body was taking energy from fat instead of carbs, which meant that they weren't absolutely dying out and waiting for their body to then change from taking that energy from carbs to fats. Like this, they were better prepared in pretty much most other situations. I want to highlight that the importance here is of quality meats. High quality grass-fed beef is an absolute must. So consuming this high quality meat and dairy quite literally meant that they got stronger, bigger, and more tough than pretty much any other warrior race during that time. Grains, processed food, even going through one step of processing, is simply incompatible with the way our bodies can process food. Don't get me wrong, we can still process it, it's just not as healthy. I mean, historically speaking, their teeth didn't rot the same way the Chinese's did, their bones weren't stunted, and their immune systems were far stronger. One of the key components of living a harder life like this meant that bonding and forging loyalties over this hardship was an everyday occurrence. Going through hardship with other people, men and women, means that better and stronger bonds are formed due to the need for survival. And because of Genghis Khan's demand for loyalty, the usually broken up nomadic tribes that were loyal to their own tribal leaders could finally come together and actually create an empire that would conquer the known world. One thing that can be learned from Genghis Khan himself was his ability to use the carrot and the stick. For example, spoils would be shared out equally among all the nomads. Merit was far more valuable than seniority, meaning that their command structures were also more stable, as you had people that actually knew how to lead in roles of leadership, and if you did your job right, you were rewarded. But the cost of slacking, cowardice, and weakness were extremely high, often resulting in lashing or death. Now, seeing as the Mongols were known for their adaptability and their readiness to endure harsh environments and unknown enemies, they would often be faced with hardship, which is a mindset that you need to put yourself into by doing things like intermittent fasting or cold showers in order to build the mental resilience needed in order to overcome challenging and difficult conditions on a regular daily basis. There is no better way to do this than literally exposing yourself to uncomfortable situations through your own desire. The body reacts in one way when you're placed in uncomfortable situations because the world determines it, and it reacts in another when you place it upon yourself to be uncomfortable. Like this, the mind and body are both tempered in order to be able to better adapt and handle harsh environments and changes. Here is a Mongol-inspired weekly workout routine designed to build endurance, agility, and resilience. Just like Genghis Khan's warriors, each day is structured to reflect the key elements of Mongol training. On Monday, endurance ride or long-distance cardio. Your focus is cardiovascular endurance and leg stamina. Begin the week with a long-duration cardio session, like cycling or running for 45 to 60 minutes. This builds stamina and mimics the long rides Mongols took daily. If you can push this even further, go ahead, 2 to 3 hours is optimal. Tuesday, precision and agility training. Your focus is hand-eye coordination and agility. Target drills with activities like archery, throwing, or precision ball drills. Incorporate ladder drills or cone work to improve footwork and reaction speed. Wednesday includes weighted carries and core stability with a focus on strength, endurance, and stability. Practice weighted carries like farm walks or ruck marches, focusing on core stability and building the strength needed for carrying supplies over distances. Thursday is functional strength day. Use compound exercises like deadlifts, lunges, and kettlebell swings for 3 to 4 sets each. Focus on endurance and movement, not max weight, to build sustained power. Friday, we're going in with mobility and flexibility. Recovery and joint mobility is your focus. Perform dynamic stretching and mobility exercises. Include yoga or flexibility drills to ensure agility and reduce injury risk, essential for life on horseback. Saturday, we're doing a ruck march or long hike with weight. Endurance and adaptability is your focus today. Go for a hike or ruck march with a weighted backpack for 1 to 2 hours. This builds lower body strength, stamina, and endurance needed for extended travel. Sunday is active recovery and resilience building. Your focus is mental and physical recovery. Practice low intensity activities like brisk walking, breathing exercises, or cold exposure to train mental resilience, aiding both recovery and mental toughness. This is the very basic of what you need to be doing. But if you want to take it a step further, cold showers, 14 minutes a week, is optimal to get all the benefits. Red light therapy for 52 minutes a week is also perfect to get all the benefits from that. And of course, considering we want to be warriors, we need combat training. Being able to incorporate at least 3 days of combat training a week puts us at the beginning stages of learning how to be a warrior. Now, I wouldn't recommend this if you're on a cut. A long drawn out regime like this usually results in a weakened immune system, and seeing as you're on a cut, you'll be hard pressed to get the nutrients and vitamins in that you need in order to be able to sustain such a rigorous regime. But if you're on maintenance, eating as you want or increasing in weight, training like this is perfect in order to gain weight while building muscle and less fat. The Mongols were more than just conquerors. They were a resilient, adaptable, and trained force capable of surviving and excelling under any circumstance. Now, out of all of the warriors that I have broken down up until now, the Mongols aren't specifically special, and yet they managed to build one of the largest empires ever known to mankind. Why? Because they were innovative in their warcraft, ate primarily meat and dairy, and lived like animals, but knew how to be disciplined when the time called for it. So if you enjoyed this video, hit that like and subscribe button and make sure you turn that notification bell on. And in the comments below, let me know what warriors through history or fantasy you'd like me to break down. Until next time.